Hey, how are you guys doing? I'll give you guys a second to come on into the room. Those of you, as you join in, say hi, hello, hey, so that I can see who's hopping on in to today's live. And those of you that are new to me, welcome to my space. So whether or not you're joining me from Facebook, whether or not you're joining me from LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're joining me from. Thank you so much for joining. Like I said, as you come on into the room, say hi, hello, hey, all that awesome stuff. Those of you that are new to me, once again, my name is Beverly Walthour. I am a business strategist specifically for established Christian female coaches who want to accelerate their income and their impact without compromising their Christian values. I am also a TV and radio show host. We film and record the TV and radio show here in Atlanta, GA. And so you guys, welcome to my space. It's awesome to see you guys. Hey, Mabina. Hey, Rakita. I see you guys. Hey. And so I see you, Paula. Thank you guys so much for hopping on in here. And so you guys, this is what I call Money Making Monday. Sorry about the camera. It just blurred up. This is what I call, so Mondays I call a Money Making Monday. And usually I do them at 11, but I had some I've been a busy girl this morning. I'm gonna tell y'all about it. I'll put it in a post. But yeah, I usually do my Money Making Mondays at 11, but today I had a meeting with my team, part of my team, and so I had to shift it to back to 1. So I do apologize for the shifting of the time, but I promise that this will be well worth your wait. You guys, I encourage you to have paper and pencil or paper and pen, something to write with. You might be new school or you do it on your phone, whatever it is, you need to take notes for today. And so hey, oh, cool. Yes. I love it, Lana Paula. I love it. And so you guys definitely make sure that you grab paper and something to write with. And I want to go ahead and dive on into the conversation. I have my notes and everything to make sure that I stay on track, all this awesome stuff. And so you guys, as we end January, we're coming up on the end. We have a week left in January of 2022, believe it or not. Some of you guys like, hey, it feels like we just started 2022. Some of you guys thought it was June already. Wherever you are in this process, we are coming up on the end of January. And so it's really weird the way that God works with me, especially with my business, where for a lot of people, they end the year, and I encourage you guys to end the year. And Tiffany, watch this. You know how I put my little nose up on the screen when I'm actually behaving. And so I encourage my clients to, make sure that they plan and all that good stuff for the end of the year into the new year. Well, God works with me a little bit differently when it comes to my year. He actually downloads a lot of things to me in the month of January. And so I'm like, well, wait a minute, God, what about, but yeah, and I don't argue, I used to argue. I'm just like, okay, God, whatever. And literally, let me tell you how he did it this year. Just downloaded some things to me last week. I'm like, God, we're coming up on the end of January. What are we doing? What's taking you so long? No, I'm just teasing. But yeah. And so I always like to be transparent with you guys. And I'm always talking to you guys about, of course, tuning your ear into the Holy Spirit and what it is that the Holy Spirit is showing you to do and telling you to do in your business. Don't be afraid if it goes against the norm of what either you're used to or what they're used to in the industry that you're in as a coach. Like, remember who's our source, and that's who we go to first. That's who we're listening to, type of thing. And so I was talking to y'all. I have a prayer partners, accountability partner. I got all kind of things going on. And so I was sharing with my accountability partner something new that I'm doing and something different. This is one of the downloads that I got from God. And so one of my accountability partners, I know for me, when my day gets started, it's kind of hard for me to, make sure I got the meetings in place or, all of this stuff. So I told him, I'm like, look, I said, if you want the best of me and want to make sure that I remain consistent, we need to meet in the morning, like early in the morning. And so, we meet at 6:30 Eastern time. And so, the purpose of that meeting is for us to talk about, hey, this is what we plan on working on. So you guys, the stuff that I talk to you guys about, I'm not lying. Like, literally, these are the things that I use to create this multi-six-figure business. Like, actually, Tanya, we're live. Tanya, we're live right now. Tanya said, nope, we're live right now. Yes, ma'am. And so, the things that I show and tell you guys, and the things that I talk about, and I'm always, especially when if you haven't, hit that 6-figure mark consistently, I always encourage my clients to really focus on organic um marketing, unless you have that clarity, like you are super crystal clear on who you serve and how you want to serve them. You're able to sell offers, you've been able to sell your programs organically, then yes, then that next thing shift to the paid stuff. But a lot of you guys, thank you. Thank you. I'm glowing in it. Oh, well, thank you, God. Yes, 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 yes. And so thank you so much for that chocolate butterfly. And so I really pray that this information that I share with you guys today, like I said, we're going to pull back the layers and all of that awesome stuff. Yes, ma'am, we are live to, you caught me live. And so I want to peel back the layers and share with you guys the strategies. And one thing that I always say, and I was talking to my accountability partners this morning, and just like we don't have a problem with going to someone else's business, which, remember they started their business, or, the organization or whatever it is, and pour out 8 hours. Well, I don't even know who works for 8 hours anymore, 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, pouring into their company, giving them the best of ourselves, that type of thing. But then we don't want to spend 2 hours, or we'll talk about how we don't have time to spend 2 hours to work on our business. So whether or not it's a 2-hour chunk together, or if you have to break it apart, and work on it 30 minutes here and 30 minutes there and late in the evening, or whatever it is that you need to do, that type of thing, like that always kind of blows my mind. I'm like, I may not, if I'm still working full time, I may not be able to give my business, a full 12 hours a day, but I'm going to make sure that I dedicate some time. I'm going to put that time aside. I have to do that grunt work. And you guys, and I know it doesn't feel good, and like I said, I've been there and done that when I was in my business, when I was working my business part-time in someone else's business full-time. I shared with you guys the fact that when I used to travel 1 to 6 days a week, imagine literally being on the road 1 to 6 days a week, and then still trying to build your business. And at one point I had my 4-year-old and my 8-year-old niece and nephew living with me too. It was just me. And I'm telling you, that type of thing, that's the part right there, Crystal. It takes strategy, it takes focus, it takes commitment. And so, you guys, and what I had to keep in mind was, hey, I'm doing what God told me to do. Like, it's not about me saying no to man. It's about me telling God that I don't have time for the thing that I said yes to. That's the part right there. Like, that got me, that conviction. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to go back to God and tell him I don't have the time. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So yeah. Okay. So now let's go ahead and dive on into this conversation. So once again, those of you, we have 7 days at the time of this recording. We have 7 days. We have a week left in January. And so my goal is, how do I close sales this last week? Some of you guys have given up and said, okay, well, in February, no. I want you to shift your focus and ask yourself, because your brain, when you ask a question, your brain will actually sit there and try to answer your question. So ask yourself, how can I generate sales, or how can I close sales these last 7 days, this last week of January? That's what you want to do, because your brain will take the time to try to actually go through and answer the question, that type of thing. So this is what I want you to ask yourself. I want you to ask yourself, how can I close sales? How can I generate sales these last 7 days of January? Yes, I'm telling you guys, when the Holy Spirit got me like that, when it came to my business, when I used to say, I didn't have the time, I didn't have the time, I didn't have the time, I didn't have the time. Oh, so you don't have the time for the thing that you told me yes to. I said, oh, okay, God. And on that note, okay, then the question became, okay, how do I do this? How do I work my business and still have this job at the same time? Like, I had to shift my questioning, that type of thing. Okay. So once again, the question that I want you guys to ask yourself is, how can I generate sales the last 7 days of January? That's what I want you guys to ask yourself. And then these are some of the things that that you want to make sure that you have in place to help you to answer these questions, that type of thing. Ooh, all right, Crystal. All right, Crystal. So God said, oh, so you don't have time for the income. I love that. Ooh, Crystal, that's a good one. That's a good one. You don't have time for my increase. Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna go over here to this other person. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. So, you guys, first and foremost, when it comes to, okay, hey, how do I close more sales? How do I generate more sales? These last 7 days of January, that type of thing. Oh, I'm telling, look, God reminded me that very thing, and the word was for me to refocus. That part right there. Yeah, you guys, I'm telling you, that's a powerful, and it's a mindset thing when it comes to shifting your questions. Because a lot of times we come from that space, and I call it from, coming from a space of lack, in the sense of, either I don't have the time. If you say you don't have the time, that's lack. So you have to shift your question. So it reminds me of scripture about renewing my mind. Like, I have to go through that process of renewing my mind. I have to think different. I have to operate differently. I have to move differently if I want something different. That type of thing. Like, I had to be in that space. I had to get into that space of being able to do that and being okay with that space. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Sherry. That part. That part. Okay. And so, you guys, one thing. So if we're asking ourselves, okay, how do I close sales? Right? How do I close sales these last 7 days of January? Oh, renewal took place this morning. You guys, and I'm telling you, this past week and what God has downloaded to me this past week, because like I said, usually God gives me my what He's looking for. He usually gives it to me earlier in January. So like I said, I usually use January to prepare for the rest of the year. So God does it kind of backwards with me. He doesn't do it like at the end of the year. He does it at the very beginning of the year. And so literally, y'all can ask my prayer partners. I have my prayer. Hey, you guys, this is what I need you guys to stay in agreement with me, because I know what my scripture says. My scripture says, "With two agree on earth or anything, my Father will do it for me in heaven." And so, like, okay, you guys, this is what I'm believing God for. I need you guys to touch and agree. I need you guys to be, my pastor calls them receiving partners. What is it that you're believing God to receive? And so you need some partners that's going to stand in the gap for you to be able to do that. And so I was telling my prayer partners, like, look, I'm looking for this download. I'm looking for this down. Okay, God, where's, and like I said, literally last week, when I tell you guys, it has been such a weight shifted or lifted off my shoulders, the weight and the things that He's shown and told me. And so, like I said, this right here, like I said, how am I going to generate, how am I going to generate more sales, or how will I generate sales these last 7 days of January? I love it, Sherry. Look, I'm telling you, yep, that's usually my jump start for me. It feels kind of backwards to me, but I'm like, okay, God, work it. Do what you do, God. Do what you do. Okay. So, you guys, the first thing that I want you to ask yourself, if your question is, well, hey, how do I generate sales? Or how do I close more sales these last 7 days? The first thing you want to ask yourself, is what's going to be the transformational offer. So what is your transformational offer? What's that transformational offer? So everything that I'm going to do is going to be in question form, okay? Because once again, your brain is going to kick into gear to try to answer the questions. So everything that we talk about today is going to be in question form, okay? Everything is going to be in question form. Because once again, I want your brain to literally start to try to generate the answer, okay? You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm going to ask everything in a question form, because once again, your brain will automatically start to try to answer the questions. Okay. So you guys, if you don't have paper and pen or paper and something to write with, please grab something, because I'm going to ask you guys a series of questions. Okay. And so once again, these questions are going to help you to close the sale. So once we get done with this live, I want you to sit with these questions and start answering these questions. Okay. So one, what's going to be your transformational offer? So what are you going to put out there? And my thing is focus on, listen to me. I like to say focus on one thing. Some of you guys got 15 offers out there, and people are like, I don't know if I want this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and they don't buy anything. So I really encourage you to focus on one thing. Or if you do have multiple offers, then when you're out there and you're having conversations with your people, your call to action is going to be for them to schedule a call. Get on a call with them, have a conversation with them about their needs, and then based on their needs, then you offer a service. Okay? So if you do have more than one offer, I strongly encourage that your call to action be for them to schedule a call. Okay? And then have a conversation with them, see what their needs are, and then based on their needs, then make an offer from what you have, that type of thing. So once again, what's going to be that transformational offer? What is that thing that you're going to put out there these next 7 days? What's going to be that thing that you want to promote these next 7 days? Okay. So that's going to be the first question that you want to ask yourself. That second question, how many of them do I want to sell? How many of these do I want to sell? So once again, we have 7 days left in the week. We have 7 days left in the week. We have 7 days left in the week. And so, with those 7 days, and I always tell people when it comes to setting that revenue goal, because if we have 7 days, and actually, let me put this question up. Let me put this question up next. So I have my transformational offer. What's my revenue goal? Let's ask that question next. What's my revenue goal for these next 7 days? Is your revenue goal $1,000? Is your revenue goal for the next 7 days $5,000? Is it $2,500? What's your revenue goal for the next 7 days? We're gonna break this thing down. You want to close sales this week? We're gonna have to break some things down. So what's going to be that transformational offer that you're going to put out there? What's your revenue goal? And then let's go through and ask, how many of those do I need to sell? Okay, so what's my transformational offer? What's my revenue goal for the week? How many of those do I need to sell? So once again, if my revenue goal for the week is $1,000, okay, well, Bev, I have this offer for $997. Okay, well, how many of these do you need to sell? Bev, my revenue goal for the next week is $2,500. Okay, cool. You have that offer for $1,000. How many of those do you need to sell? Technically 3. The math teacher in me, technically 3. Okay, I love it, Wanda. Okay, Wanda gave me her goal. So Wanda said her revenue goal in the next 7 days is $6,400. Okay. And so, Wanda, what's the investment for your offer? What's the investment for your offer? So Wanda, while she's typing that in there, she'll let me know what her investment is. So you guys, once again, think about your offer. What's your transformational offer? What's your transformational offer? What's your revenue goal for the week? How many of those things do you need to sell? How many of those do you need to sell? Perfect. Okay, so Wanda's offer is $6,400. So Wanda, let me make sure I have this correct. So your offer is $6,400, right? And you guys, like I said, literally get your paper and pencil, write this stuff out. Sometimes we put our stuff in our head, but I'm like, write the vision and make it plain. Write it out. Sit down and count up the cost. Okay, so Wanda's like, look, Bev, I need one client for my $6,400 offer. So you guys, we're gonna use, as I give these examples, I'm gonna use Wanda, okay? Because she was the first number that I saw. I see a couple of more of you guys that put in your numbers. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So the rest of you guys just follow along with your paper and pencil. Wanda, we're going to talk about some strategies that you can implement to help you get this one client that she needs. So you guys, that's the one thing. So once again, when I sit down, my thing is, those of you that know me, my background is in education. So I taught math forever. So I'm a stickler for data, in the sense of the data doesn't lie. So once again, if my goal is $6,400 and I have an offer for $6,400, okay, then I want to go ahead and get one person in to that particular offer. In my mind, when I look at that number one, I'm like, well, dang, that's doable. One person, God, that's all that I need. You see what I'm doing? Like, all I need is one person. All I need is 2 people. All I need is 3 people. Now, when it starts to get to, okay, well, God, I need 50 people in a week. Your brain is like, whoa, wait a minute, ma'am, Nelly, hold on. You hadn't done 50 people in the last 6 months. That's why your pricing is important. That's why your pricing of your services is important. Okay, so once again, everyone knows how many they need to sell, right? Sherry, let me ask you this. Okay, so Sherry, she has a goal of $5,000. She needs 10 people into her 30-day program. And Sherry, is this what you're trying to do in a week, or how long are you giving yourself to get your 10 people? And you guys, I bet Sherry's program, whatever it is that she's offering, is worth more than what she's charging. I bet you that. Sherry already know. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, so everyone knows how many they need to sell. Okay, uh-huh. We all know it's underpriced. Uh-huh. Okay, so she wants it. Okay, so she's trying to get her 10 people in. Do you have any in yet, Sherry? You have any people in it yet? Okay. So now, how many do I want to sell? So we know the offer, we know our revenue goal, we know how many we want to sell. And this is the thing that used to really and truly, like when I used to work with one of my coaches, and she's like, "Well, Bev, all you need is two. Bev, all you need is two at 5,000 each. Bev, all you." And in my mind, I'm like, I can't even get two people for $200. Coach, what you mean? All I need is two. You make it seem so easy. You make it sound so easy. I don't get it. This right here, I had such a mental block to the thing. It was such a mental block until I shifted my focus. Because notice what I'm saying. I'm calling this a transformational offer. I had to shift my own thinking. If this offer that I have is transformational, do I believe in what it is that I'm offering? Do I believe that if I get my ideal people in there, that they're going to get this transformation? If the answer is yes, and that is my belief, how dare I not let people know about this service that I have? I have to open my mouth and let people know what it is that I have, because their life will be transformed, their business, their health, their relationship, their career, however you serve your people. You guys, you have to believe in what it is that you offer. You have to believe that it's going to transform whatever area you support your people. You have to believe that it's going to transform it. You have to have that level of belief in what it is that you offer. But the thing is, a lot of you guys struggle with how to package an offer. And that's why that's one of the first things that I work on with my client. We literally go through this. It's in their, what I call their revenue blueprint. And the first thing we work on is their offer. I ask them a series of 7 questions. They literally go through these 7 questions to help them package their service. I love it, Regina. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so, you guys, I'm going to say this. And I did a post yesterday. And on the post, I talked about, so yes, on Saturday, I was in a room on Clubhouse. I don't think anybody on here was in the room that I was in. And I'm really a stickler when it comes to pricing. Like, most of my clients come to me because of pricing. They're established coaches, and so they want to accelerate their results. And so I was in a room on Clubhouse, and this young lady was asking a question about her pricing. And so, it wasn't my room. It was not my room. Somebody brought me up. They, because they saw that I was in the room, they modded me and everything. I get really, and I probably need to go back on Clubhouse and start my own rooms. So I don't know these. I didn't know everybody. I knew out of the moderators that were on the stage, I knew 3 of the 4. And so the young lady was asking a question about her pricing. And so the comment that was made was, "Hey, what would you like to charge?" or something like that. And the girl threw out a price. And so the person was like, "Well, yeah, just go with that. That'll be your baseline. That'll be the lowest you ever charge." I'm like, that's not how you price. That's not how you do pricing. That is not how you do pricing when it comes to your services. So once the person got done and said it, like I said, it's not my room, y'all. So the only thing I could say was, hey, you just want to make sure that when you price your services, sometimes we'll put a price and we'll put everything in the kitchen sink and they're trying to justify it. But I didn't agree with what that person was saying. And I got the heart of what the person was saying, but I'm like, you got to be really careful, because there's other people in the room that are listening and they're just going to randomly come up with a number. You guys, that's not how you package your services. That is not how you price it. You do not randomly just come up with a bunch of, that's not how you do it. There is literally a process to go through whenever you're packaging your services and whenever you're pricing your services. So there's a process. There's questions that I ask my clients when it comes to packaging their services. Rakita's been on a call with me when it comes to packaging your services. And there are questions that we go through. And even with the pricing, there's a process for your pricing. And one of the things that, even with some of my clients, we really dig into a lot of you guys, when it comes to pricing, you don't even take everything into consideration when it comes to pricing your services. So that part there, so you guys, there's actually a process when it comes to pricing your services and packaging your services. Like, it's a thing there. And so you want to make sure that you know and understand that. That's what I said. Literally, a lot of you guys, you just need to repackage and reprice your services. I'm telling you, that's going to make a huge difference in your coaching business. So a lot of you guys, when you see my testimonials, for instance, from my accelerator, and when my clients are doing 10,000, 20,000, like they literally had $20,000 weeks. How are they doing that? It's because we go through this packaging and pricing. We go through the process together. And so, like I said, they're not cramming in a bunch of stuff. They're not adding a bunch of junk to their offer. Sometimes they're actually peeling pieces away from their offer. Hey, Crystal. And so that's the thing, Sherry. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how often you meet with them. Doesn't matter. Remember, part of the thing that they pay for is the transformation. And so that is key. So you guys, like I said, we have our transformational offer. We have our revenue goal for the next 7 days. And we know how many of those things we want to sell. You guys, get laser focused these next 7 days. I want to challenge you these next 7 days. Be laser focused. Be laser focused these next 7 days, okay? The next 7 days is not for you to try this and this and this and this. Okay, I posted about this, Bev, and nobody bought it, so now I'm gonna post about this. Bev, I went live about this and nobody bought it. Bev, I emailed my list and nobody, and then you jump. No, I want you to remain laser focused these next 7 days. So I know my transformational offer. Like I said, prayerfully, you guys know how to package it. Prayerfully, you know how to price it. You know how many you need to sell. The next question, because like I said, one of the things with my coach, with my initial coach, and what was a block for me when she would say, okay, well, Bev, yeah, okay, so this week, you just need 2 $5,000 clients. Or, hey, you need 3 $2,500 clients. My block was, where they gonna come from? Coach, I don't know what you talking about. Where they coming from? I don't look. Where they at? If it was that easy, coach. That was my mindset block initially. So I had to figure out a process that made sense. I had to break that process down and say, okay, Bev, what is this going to look like for me? So you want to ask yourself, how are you going to generate leads over the next 7 days? These are people who are interested in what it is you have to offer, right? So how am I going to generate these leads over the next 7 days? So every day over the next 7 days, one of the easiest ways to do this, one of the easiest ways. So those of you that are leaning in, let me know if you want to know one of the easiest ways to generate leads. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know one of the easiest ways to generate leads. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know one of the easiest ways to generate leads. Because you guys, I'm telling you, I gave you my own experience. Like when it came to me and my coach, I'm like, Coach, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Coach was going, look, you sit here saying you making it seem easy. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Okay, I'm seeing my ones. Okay, cool. And when I say this, I need you guys to hear me out before you shut down. What you want to do when it comes to these leads, you guys, you have to have laser focused content. That is key. A lot of you guys right now, your content is too broad. And so it's not attracting your ideal client. You have to have laser focused content. Ben, what are you talking about when you say this laser focused content? This is the content specific for your ideal client. This is the content specific. So I'm not worried about anybody feeling left out. I'm not worried. I'm talking specifically to my ideal clients with this content. So if I do a scripture, I'm tying it back to my ideal client. If I have a motivational quote, because you can have that as part of your content, but tie it back to your ideal client. How and why is this impactful to him or her? You want it to be super laser focused over these next 7 days to your ideal client. You want to speak specifically to them with whatever content you're putting out for the next 7 days. Now, can you have other content? Yes, but I'm talking about the content that you're talking to. I want you to talk to your ideal client every day for the next 7 days. I need you to trust me with this. So, for instance, some ladies in my academy, we're getting ready to do a live stream or masterclass challenge. So right now they're dropping the topics into the academy, and then I'm providing them with tips. So one young lady, she had a title in there. And so the title was something like how to start and secure funding or something like that, right? That's an example of broad content. How to start and secure funding for your business, I think is what she said. You see what I mean when I say that is broad content? Because anyone that's looking to start it, she doesn't serve any person that wants to start a business. It's a specific person that she's talking to. So when I talk about your laser focused content, you're speaking specifically to your person. So I said, okay. I said, the people that you serve, I said, are they aspiring? So this particular person, she works with people who want to have a food truck, right? So because she works with people who want to start a food truck, her laser focused content is going to talk with those aspiring food truck owners. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not talking to any other type of entrepreneur. I'm not talking to anybody else. I'm talking to aspiring food truck owners. Because those aspiring food truck owners, they have specific needs. So with her masterclass that she's going to do, she's going to talk to them specifically how to start your food truck and how to secure funding for your new food truck business. See how that content is now laser focused. She's talking to a certain group of people. So anyone who joins her live or her masterclass, they are interested in that thing because the title of it was very specific to who it is that she's speaking to. So in that case, anyone who hops on that particular live or master class that she does, she knows that they're interested in that topic. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I mean when I say laser focused content. And so this is what I do with my clients. They come to me, well, Bev, I'm thinking about this. And so I'll go back. Well, what do you think about this? Because we want to make it laser focused. You guys, I'm telling you, when I shifted my messaging from being so broad to being very laser focused, that was one of the biggest shifts in my business. I'm like, mighty God. So for me, that was what I needed when it came to my business. And that was the part that my coach, I think she was trying to get me to see it, but for whatever reason back then, it was not clicking. I'm like, ma'am, I don't get it. But once I got that, you guys, I'm telling you, that's when I hit the first 6 figures in my business. And I'm like, whoa. So what is your laser focused content? So whether or not it's a live stream, whether or not it's a written post, the same things. If you guys pay attention to my reels over the last couple of days, because remember I told you God downloaded some things to me just last week. If you go back and you look at my reels from the last couple of days, I think I did one on Friday, the one that I'm going to post today, and go back and look at some of my other reels, you're going to notice even with this, it's more laser focused. It's not just motivational stuff. It's not just the feel-good stuff. I am talking specifically to my established Christian female coaches about how to do a specific thing. And now I noticed comments. The story that I put, somebody sent me a message about it. The reel that I had on Facebook, somebody left me a comment specifically about what it was that I was talking about, and the reel that I did on Instagram. I'm like, whoa, okay. even for myself, because you guys, you're going to get more and more targeted. You're going to go get more and more laser focused with your content, with your messaging. But you want to put it out there. You want to refine it. All of that stuff. Like the more you do this, the more refined it becomes. Okay, so Crystal said, and are we looking at the transformation they will come away with specifically in the live or the master class? And so, Crystal, with the, yes, that part, Crystal. So, with that laser focused content, it's going to make them move. They're going to do something. They're going to do something. So whether or not, for some of them, that something might just be watching the live. But this is the tricky part. For some of your people, I have people that are on this live right now. I don't know that they're on here because they haven't said anything yet. Those of you that are talking to me, I can see those of you that are on here, but there are some of you guys that are on here that when I say, hey, drop a 1 if you want to know what it is, they didn't drop a 1. They want to know what it was, but they didn't drop a 1. So there are some people who will be on your live or your masterclass. Now, unless you do a formal one, like when you have people sign up and opt in and all that stuff, and you do it on Zoom or whatever, that's a different story. But on this right here, I'm doing just a regular live stream. Or there will be people who will watch this on the replay. And if they don't ever comment, I don't ever know that they're there. But this is why I always tell you guys, people are always watching you. People are always watching you. That's why, 1, you have to remain consistent. 2, you have to have that content, that laser focused content out there consistently, because eventually they're going to make a move, because they can't sit in this space where nothing is happening for too long. Like they're looking for something. And for a lot of people, they have to check you out. They have to feel you out. They have to say, okay, does she really know what she's talking about? That type of thing. Look at this. Stephanie, like, where's Stephanie come from? There she go. Look. And so, you guys, even with your lives, and Crystal, I think I'm getting ready to answer your question. If not, let me know. Even with your lives and even with your master classes, and live streams and master classes are 2 different things. People should still walk away with something. Some of you guys are so worried about giving away too much information. Like this live that I'm doing right here. I told y'all to bring paper and pencil. I'm dead serious. I'm going to do a master class later this week. The same thing. I'm going to tell you, bring paper and pencil, and that thing is going away. It's going to disappear. I'm only going to leave it up for 3 days, and then it's gone away into my paid content. That type of thing. Yes, and Crystal, I love what you call I think you call your ideal client. You said your ideal you. I think that's what you call it. And I love that, your ideal you. Because for a lot of us, our ideal client is usually some form of ourselves. That part there, Crystal, you got, and Crystal, I'm glad that you said that. You guys, I'm telling you, your content, your messaging, that is key. That is one of the pivotal pieces with your content. That is one of the pivotal pieces to get people to move. When you narrow that down, when you get laser focused, you're going to notice a difference. And that's key. Like I said, with my clients, once again, when they're doing $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 weeks, it's not with generic content. It's really not. They had to get laser focused. They really did. And so, like I said, when you do a live stream, when you do a master class, don't be afraid. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna give away so much and people are not going. No. Get out there. You want to make sure there's a live stream or a master class that's something that your people need. For instance, those of you that are on here, your goal, you want to close sales in the next 7 days. Like I know you do because you're on here. So I'm giving you information that's specific to my ideal client, that if you implement it, you'll be able to get a result. You will. So that type of thing. So think about your people. What's a right now need for your people right now? What's a right now need for your people right now? That part right there, Crystal, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, and then here's the other, Crystal. Okay, when thinking about the transformation offer specifically to hit my revenue goal, the promo has to be specific to your ideal client, or should I speak mainly to what they will walk away? Oh, okay. So when you're talking about your transformational offer, so Crystal, once again, you want that offer So Crystal, you can actually do both. So when it comes to your transformational offer, you can talk about who your transformational offer is for, who is not for, the transformation that they're going to achieve as a result of working with you, that type of thing. So you can speak to that because once again, you want to have content for the next 7 days. And so with that content, once again, you want to speak to all of those pieces. Who's my ideal? Who is this for? What are they going to walk away with? What's that transformation? One of the things that I love sharing with my clients when it comes to their content is look at your offer. What is it that you're offering? How can you take that and have conversations with your people that's specific and laser focused for your people? That type of thing. So, Crystal Barrow, let me know if that answers your question. So once again, go back to your offer. What are those transformational things from your offer? What are those things that right now thing that your offer solves? I call my things content pillars. And so I talk to you guys about this all the time. You guys know about my 5 Ps. Those are the only areas that I ever talk about. Like you guys don't ever hear me talk about this is what you should have on your website. You guys don't ever hear me talking about what you should have on your when it comes to picking your branding colors. That's not my zone of genius. I don't talk about those things because that's not my area. It's not my area. That type of thing. So y'all know the 5 areas I will always talk about. I will only talk about the 5 areas because that's my zone. That's my genius. That's my jam. And so I stick to that. So I call those my content pillars. What are your content pillars? Because that will help you with, your laser focused content. Go to your offer. Look at what's in your offer. That'll help you to narrow down your content. And then just speak to those things. Speak to those things. Speak to all the time. All the time. All the time. Well, babe, I just talked about that last week. They're going to get tired. No, they don't. Some of y'all have been following me for years. I talk about the same thing. It's been the same thing. It's been the same thing. It's been the same thing. So that type of thing. Exactly, Crystal. I love that. Exactly. A lot of people do struggle with that concept of their ideal client. That part right there, share your framework. Yeah, your framework. Your framework. So Sherry, number 3 was how will I generate leads? How will I generate leads? And we're going to generate leads through our laser focused content. What is my laser focused content? That's how we're going to generate leads, through my laser focused content. And you want to put that laser focused content on the platform that your ideal client is hanging out on. If you have an email list, don't leave your email list out. Don't leave out your email list. Have a conversation with the people on your email list. Send them a couple of emails this week over the next 7 days. Send them 2 to 3 emails. Man, that's too many. I don't want to. They can unsubscribe. Y'all making this too hard. Y'all doing the most for no reason. Send 2 or 3 emails over the next. Send 2 or 3 emails over the next week. Crystal, I'm telling you're gonna get bored with yourself. You guys, I'm telling you. You have those 4 to 5 what we call content pillars where you're talking about the same thing. You should get tired of yourself. You should be like, oh my God, I am so sick and tired of talking about this. And you will have people, because I always equate it back to reading scripture. I always equate this back to reading scripture. Because depending upon where you are in your life, that scripture is going to hit different. So the same thing with the people who are listening in on your content. Just depending upon what's going on with them, it's going to hit different. You're going to look like, I just said that last week, but for whatever reason, it finally hit them. It finally clicked. Although you may have said a variation of that same thing before, but it finally clicked, just like that scripture. That's what it reminds me of. Because like I said, even when I used to teach, I'm like, if I say this thing one more time, if I said talk about this doggone denominator one more time, if I talk about how to find this Pythagorean theorem one more time, but that repetition is needed. And like I said, it's just for whatever reason, what's ever going on, it will finally land with them. And they will have that aha moment. I'm telling you, I get on my own nerves. Because I'm just like, I talk about the same thing over and over and over. But what I do know is that someone needs to hear it. Someone needs to hear that thing one more time. That may be that one more that they needed. That may have been the one more that they needed. That part right there, Sherry, give them that shape framework. Because like I said, I talk about my 5 Ps all the time. I love this. And this is the thing. Thank you for saying this, Rakita. You guys, once again, people need to encounter your content. It may take them up to, actually, it could take them up to 15 touch points before they ever move. It could take them up to 15 touch points before they ever move on your content. So those of you that get annoyed and you try things for 2 days and then you walk away, that's not, you don't, that's not how it works. That's not how that thing works. It could take up to 7 to 15 touch points before they actually move. And you gave up after 2. But the data says another thing. Now, are there some people who will hear you once and go, yeah, but that's not usually the norm. That's not usually the norm. I'm just saying. It can take them up to 15 touch points. And once again, 15 touch points is not you messaging them in Messenger, hopping in Messenger 15 times. Touch points is them touching your brand in some type of way. Was it a live stream? Was it an email? Did they go to your website? Did they watch a reel? You guys, I'm signing clients from reels. I'm like, okay, God, we're going to keep doing this. Because I feel a reel is like a 30-second, 10-second, 15-second commercial. And once again, like I said, now that I'm even more laser focused with my content on my reels and people are asking me questions and I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful thing. I'm just saying. Yes. Yep, Shabika, yep. That touch point, I'm telling you, they have to engage with your content. That type of thing. I have 2 more questions and then I'm going to end this live. Okay. So once again, what's your laser focused content? Your sale, your lead gen is, I'm telling you, the best way, the easiest way, the quickest way, the fastest way, because you want to indoctrinate people with how it is that you do things and the way that you do things as a coach. So get your laser focused content out there consistently over the next 7 days. Over the next 7 days. Get it out there consistently, okay? Like I said, give them different forms. So yes, I'm doing this live. This live will probably end up, being about an hour. I know people can't watch this thing for an hour, so I'm going to have a post that goes out there. You may see a story that goes out there. You may see a reel that goes out there. Because once again, an email. Shoot, some of you guys got an email from me. Hey, I'm going live for Money Making Monday. Meet you there. That type of thing. Now, the next thing. So once again, I'm putting my content out there consistently. I'm putting my content out there consistently for the next 7 days. Once again, you're going to notice an increase in your engagement if you remain consistent with it, especially if you're speaking specifically to your people and you're putting that laser focused content out there on the platform where your ideal people are hanging out. Another question, if you're looking to close sales over the next 7 days, another question I need you to ask yourself is how many sales calls or how many calls do I need to have scheduled? How many calls do I need to have scheduled? Because now we need to figure out my conversion. Okay, so if I talk to 3 people and I'm able to close 1, right? So say if that's your conversion rate, so you have 33% conversion rate. That means you need to get 3 sales calls on your calendar. So whether or not you actually do calls on the phone or if you do it via Zoom or over there in Messenger, like you don't even have to get on the call, you close the sale in Messenger. But you need to know for yourself as a business owner what your conversion rate is. So you need to ask yourself, well, how many calls do I need to get scheduled? And the thing is with this, and I'm going to say something that's going to kind of be disheartening for some of you guys when I say this, but let me finish my complete thought. You cannot control who says yes to a sales call with you. You cannot control who says yes to a sales call with you. You can't control that. You cannot control who says yes. But what you can control are the number of people that you actually invite on a call with you. That is the difference. So once again, I can't control who actually schedules the calls, but I can control the number of invites. So, Bev, what does that mean? That means you need to ask yourself, how many people am I actually inviting on a call with me? How many people am I going to invite on a call with me? That's the thing that a lot of us don't think about. You have to open your mouth. You have to invite people. So, like I said, whether or not that invite is them actually scheduling a call because you do sales calls, whether or not it's a link where they click to go buy your course, whether or not it's a conversation that you have back and forth with people in Messenger, are you doing that? That's where some of you guys are dropping the ball. I love this, Crystal. I love this. All right, Tanya. Exactly. A closed mouth is and that's the part that a lot of us struggle with, is actually opening up our mouths and asking people to schedule those calls with us. So if you don't have your own sales team, how else are you going to make sales? I need you guys to think about that. If you don't have your own sales team, how else are you going to make sales? Well, Bev, I see people out there where they say, they don't chase people. They don't chase people. They just put a post out there and people just come to them. There's what's called inbound and outbound marketing. Inbound and outbound. I use both. There are people that, look, my link is out there, calls are getting scheduled. That is cool. But the reason why they're doing that is, one, I have that laser focused content. Two, I'm having conversations with people in Messenger. So inbound and outbound. Now, once again, I'm not just randomly somebody sending people a friend request and saying, hey, go schedule a call. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. And you guys, this was something that I had to learn, and I did not realize it until I experienced it for myself. There are literally, for instance, I see Crystal on here. Crystal Cunningham, she helps people when it comes to anthologies and helping you create a 6-figure anthology. There are people that's looking at Crystal's content that are like, wow, I'm not at her level yet. I'm not at her level. I can't work with her. She's just beyond me. She's beyond me. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. You guys, people see us, one, because we're business owners. They see us, and there's this level of where they're awestruck because, one, you've done something that probably some of them desire to do. So whether or not it's write the book, whether or not it's, being able to get the new job, the weight loss, how, whatever it is, and how it is that you support your people, they see you so differently. And so the power and what I had to learn when it came to having conversations with people was, they feel like they have to be at a particular level to work with you, in a sense where it wasn't the case. It wasn't true. And so sometimes they have misconceptions about working with you. But when you're able to have that conversation, and once again, it's not about you just hopping in Messenger and say, hey, go buy my stuff. Have conversations with people. Start these conversations with people. And then you will see, well, wow, you know what? Because that person, you may have realized, you may have done a live, Crystal may have done a live, and that person is always on her lives when she's talking about writing these anthologies, but they've never scheduled a call. So you know what I would do? I would hop in Messenger. Hey, Tasha, I see you on my lives, when I'm talking about X, Y, Z, are you interested in writing an anthology? Because they show some interest. That's why I said laser focused content. So they show some interest. Or those of you with an email list, you may have seen a certain person is opening up your emails all the time. There's a way for you to go in there, look at the reports, see who's opening up your emails, and you may send a message back, hey, are you still interested in this? That type of thing. That's what I mean. That's the outbound stuff where you actually have to be a little bit more intentional about these conversations with people. Because like I said, they have this misconception in their head and they're thinking they have to be in a certain place where usually it's not true. It's a myth or a misconception. So when you have that conversation, you realize, oh no, let me go ahead and dispel this myth right here. Let me have this conversation with them so that they can see that what they're thinking is not actually true. So I encourage my clients to say, okay, every day I'm going to connect with 5 people. And that connection may just be just connected. Hey, how are you? Thank you so much. It may just be a regular conversation. And they may say, okay, out of those 5 conversations that I have each day, I'm going to invite 3 people on a sales call, because they may realize, hey, out of those conversations, I'm going to invite 3 people on a sales call. Now, maybe only one person actually books the call, because remember, you can't control whether or not they book it, but I can control how many people that I ask. And remember, if I can get 3 people on a call and I can close 1, right? So if I am talking to 5 people a day, 10 people a day, I'm asking 3 people a day on a call, and 1 a day books a call. If I do that for 7 days, if I do that for 5 days, remember earlier, Wanda said she just needs 1 person at $6,400. She may actually get 2 people in. But once again, you have to know your numbers. This is the data that I'm talking about. Know your numbers. Know your numbers. Know your numbers. So that's why this stuff is important. I don't pay attention to my numbers. I don't do the numbers. Are you a true business owner then? Are you a true business owner? That type of thing. I'm so glad that this is helpful, Shamika. I'm so glad it's helpful. Like I said, you guys, you have to pay attention to your numbers. Hey, Malika. So once again, you have to know, how many sales calls do I need to get booked in a week? How many sales calls? Because I know if I book 3 sales calls, I'm going to close at least 1 or 2. You have to know your close rate. There we go. Okay, Wanda, there you go. Yes, 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 and yes. I love it. Look here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Trina said, look, I'm doing all that, babe. All that right there. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That part right there. Yes. Wanda has her 2 pages of notes. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And so I touched on this part right here, which is the last thing. How many of those do you need to convert into a sale? I kind of combine those 2 together. How many people do I need to get on a call? Of those people, how many am I usually able to close? Because you have to know your conversion rate. You have to know your conversion rate. If you're not sure for this week, just try to get as many people on the call as possible. Try to get as many people on the call as possible to see what your close rate is, what your conversion rate is, if you don't already know what it is. So you guys, these 6 questions I want you to ask yourself. I'm telling you, if you sit down after this live, go back and watch the replay, look at the questions that I asked, walk yourself through this process. Watch what happens. If you do this stuff every single day, that laser focused content, getting it out there every day for the next 7 days, having these conversations, asking people to get on a call with you or close them in Messenger, however you close your sales, that part to me doesn't matter. Watch what you end up doing. You're going to close more sales. And so this is the thing that really and truly kind of blows my mind. Like I said, if I know, you know what I'm saying, that I just need to get 3 people on a sales call a week or 5 people on a sales call a week, and I'm able to close 1 or I'm able to close 2, that allows for you to be laser focused. So you're not all over the place doing all of this random stuff. Get laser focused and watch what happens. Get your system down in place. And then once you see and you got your system and your source, just keep doing it. Accelerate it. And then there are some things where you can start doing some paid ads and stuff like that, which will allow for you to accelerate the thing. But for some of you guys, you're not ready for the paid yet. Get this process that I just talked to you guys about. Get this process in place. And then you can do that acceleration. I'm telling you, Malika, yes. I'm telling you, those people that are engaging with your content, those of you that have a Facebook group, if your Facebook group is laser focused, remember what I said, laser focused, having conversations with those people when they join the group. It's all these different things, your email list. And those of you that blog, have laser focused content on your blog. Talk to your specific person. Okay? So these were the 6 questions. One, what's that laser focus offer that you're going to put out there? What's the laser focus offer? I'm sorry, what's your transformational offer? I'm sorry, what's your transformational offer? What's that transformational offer? This one I didn't have it numbered. It's kind of like a bonus one. What's your revenue goal for the week? What's your revenue goal for the week? So that one wasn't numbered. How many of those transformational offers do you need to sell? How will you generate those leads? Because Bev, I hear you talking. I need 2 people. Bev, where am I gonna get 2 people that's gonna pay me $5,000? Bev, where am I gonna get these 2 people? These 2 people pay me $5,000. So how will you generate your leads? And so I kind of answered that question for you guys when I said the best way to do it is going to be through your laser focused content. So what is your laser focused content that will help to generate the leads? What's your laser focused content that will help to generate the leads? What's that laser focused content that you will use to help to generate the leads? You also want to ask yourself, how many sales calls do I need to get scheduled this week? How many sales calls do I need to get scheduled over the next 7 days? And then of those calls, how many of those do I need to actually close, convert into sales? How many of those do I actually need to convert in order for me to be able to hit that goal? Some of you guys, like I said. And so I saw a couple of you guys. So Sherry, I think you said your revenue source, your lead gen source, your sweet spot is over there on Clubhouse. So Sherry, I challenge you. And once again, you guys, what I tell Sherry, I'm talking specifically to Sherry because I know Sherry. So Sherry, I would challenge you to do a couple of rooms over the next 7 days. So Sherry, you know how we're doing the challenge in the academy. Do yours over there on Clubhouse. If Clubhouse is your jam, do it over there on Clubhouse. Now, Sherry, I will say this. If you're usually on someone else's stage, then then do your challenge on your own pages. But if it's your room that you have, your club that you have, and you have people in there, do your challenge over there on Clubhouse. I told you guys, one of my clients in my last round of the accelerator, Clubhouse was her jam. She killed it. She literally 10, 20, 30 sales calls booked from Clubhouse. Every time she did a room, she would book sales calls. But once again, she was my client, so I had a specific strategy. I literally showed her how to outline her room every time she did a room. Because before she was doing these rooms, spending all this time in here, she wasn't getting people to say, I said, no, man, we're not about to do it. If you're going to be on Clubhouse, you're going to convert it into sales, period. If you're leveraging Clubhouse as a lead generation source, you need to be making money over there. A period. Just saying. So you guys, like I said, pay attention to where your leads are coming from, that area, and focus on that area over the next 7 days. Focus on that area from the next 7 days. So yeah, like I said, I keep going back and forth with Clubhouse. I hadn't been on Clubhouse in a minute. Saturday was my first time in Clubhouse on a stage in about a month or two. And like I said, then when I got up there, that person said what they said. I said, "That's why. Oh, what are we doing? That's not how you what? That's not how you do it. That's not how you tell people how to price their services." That's why I said I might have to find my way back over there on Clubhouse. I don't know. I don't know. Crystal is funny. You share, you see, you got Crystal passing out over there. You got Crystal over there passing out. Okay. Yeah, I have not been on Clubhouse in a good hot minute. I'm just saying. I love that. And like I said, Clubhouse it can be really good. It can be a really good lead gen source. You just want to make sure that you're leveraging it correctly. That's the thing. That is the thing with Clubhouse. I see you over there, Rakita. Yeah, I have to get my mind right to be able to on Clubhouse. Because like I said, I see some things and I know some things. I'm like, y'all need to stop. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I have tried Wisdom, the same thing. It fell off. I fell off. I'm getting ready to take this app off my iPad. Yeah, I haven't gotten into Wisdom the way that I did with Clubhouse. Like Clubhouse can really be a time suck. So that's why I encourage you guys, if you're going to leverage Clubhouse, there are 2 ways you leverage Clubhouse. One, You want to be in rooms where your ideal clients are and get your behind up on the stage and contribute something. Because when you're up on the stage and you're talking, people are checking out your profile. You want to make sure that your profile is optimized over there, period. You want to make sure that it's optimized. Or if you're doing your own rooms, targeted content, targeted content for your ideal people over there. Want to be really targeted over there. You want to be really targeted over there. There you go. Okay. So that's what I'm saying, Sherry. Find your routine and your rhythm and just keep that routine and that rhythm going. Keep that routine and that rhythm going. That type of thing. Some of you guys may market one platform for maybe the coaching side of your business and the other platform for the consulting side. So there's different ways that you can leverage that. You do. You have to be really intentional over there on Clubhouse. Yep. Like I said, you have to be really strategic over there. You have to have a plan. Because if not, it will suck you on up in there. So you guys, I pray that this information was helpful and useful to you guys. Like I always say, when it comes to your pricing, your offer, that laser focused content, that messaging, you want to be really strategic with that. So of course, you guys, if you have any specific questions on how I can support you, you can schedule a call. So whichever platform you're watching me from, you should see a link somewhere, or it's scrolling below me here. Just www.callwithbeverly.com, so that we can see if there's a way that I may be able to support you. But like I said, for a lot of you guys, when you get that offer, like when you know how to package that offer and you get it priced and you have that compelling message, that's going to make a huge difference. You will literally see the shift in your revenue. Once again, what you were usually generating in a month, you will find yourself generating that in a week. What you're used to generating in a quarter, you may find yourself generating that in a month. Like when you have your packaging, your pricing, that messaging part, I'm telling you, it makes such a huge difference. For a lot of you guys, you're running around doing a bunch of stuff. But I'm telling you, if you get laser focused on those three things, I'm telling you, the level of revenue that you end up generating will blow your mind. And you'll realize, oh my gosh, that's all that it took. Just a few small tweaks to these things, and that was it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. So you guys, like I said, I pray that this information was helpful and useful to you. Once again, if you have specific questions on how I may be able to support you, feel free to schedule a call with me. Just go click on the link, www.callwithbeverly.com. A lot of you guys just get laser focused and watch what happens. Get laser focused with who you serve. Get laser focused with how you serve your people. Get laser focused with your content. Get laser focused with what it is that you're offering. Get laser focused with your lead generation. And it's going to be a huge game changer for you. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hopping on here and joining me, you guys, on this particular live. Once again, if you have specific questions, I would love to have a conversation with you. You guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you on the other side of this live. Take care. Take care. Take care.